is fairly extraordinary. I mean, things like National Science Foundation panels being canceled, National Institutes of Health being frozen. I mean, these are huge pipelines to our research and development infrastructure in the United States, which keeps us economically powerful. So, if you're going to undermine all those federal supports and pillars, where is that support going to come from? So that may not be readily apparent to everybody else, but if you start to look at what the impact could be on research and development, particularly in the tech industry, you're looking at, you're going to have to fund it. Private industry will have to fund it. Maybe they can, maybe they will. But this is a really big reshaping of the role of federal government in supporting the economy.
If those bodies walk out the door, pick whichever agency, Professor Schiller, who does he replace them with? If there's 42 people in agriculture that go out the door, where do they come from to replace those people?
I think it's going to be quite selective in terms of which of these sort of sub-agencies, sub-departments are targeted first. The red states tend to lean agriculture and need the USDA, so that's one thing. You may not have as many inspectors for our plants and our food. But, the energy, interior, I don't expect a lot of changes there. The Republican Party has declared war on higher education, from student loan forgiveness to, woke to DEI. And Trump is carrying through very, very quickly on those. And I think that's where I'm looking at sort of the immediate effects. And those will will wash into the economy. So that's what I'm looking at. How does the economy adjust? Where is the flow of people with those skills and talents come from if you shut the doors on immigration and you start sort of really beating up on universities?
Professor Schiller, one of the key topics in Davos continues to be what's happening in Ukraine. And Volodymyr Zelensky told Bloomberg yesterday that any effective peacekeeping force in his country must include U.S. troops. What do you expect Donald Trump to do as it relates to Ukraine?
Paul, I do not expect Donald Trump to put U.S. troops in any great numbers on Ukrainian soil. It's not his style, not his belief. He is, against war. He's always sort of talked about that. He doesn't want to have, U.S. spending money and possibly lives in Ukraine. But it's interesting the signals he's sending to Putin. He really feels like he's really he's the king of the mountain. And he's saying to Putin, look, we're going to stay in this for long enough to make it difficult and expensive for you. Come to the table. Let's broker a deal.
Right.
Let's get this done. And he has right now the kind of clout domestically and possibly internationally to try to make that happen.